Morning, guys. Well, we have some interesting astrological situations today. Yesterday, I talked about the conjunction between Ceres and, getting ahead of myself, between Juno and Black Moon Lilith. And today we have some interesting stuff going on with Ceres. And it was going on yesterday. I double checked, but and this is for tomorrow. Boop. This is today. The sun is exact Mars and 1 degree off from Ceres, and it was just like that yesterday as well. They were both at 26 degrees, Ceres at 27. And today we've moved up just a little bit. But today, as I was looking at the chart, I was like, that is the thing that we all need to talk about today. Oh boy. The sun is going to deal with our sense of self. Mars deals with our physical body. And also, it can be Mars just doesn't shy away from a conflict. Okay, so Mars and the sun have been together pretty much this whole month so far. And what that means is that we all may be experiencing more conflict than usual because Mars next to the sun is going to make us a lot less shy about speaking up for ourselves. And same with that North Node in Aries. Everybody in the whole world is having this spiritual call to move forward, to move towards our destiny of speaking up for ourselves, standing up for ourselves. So this could look like conflict in our personal lives, but this is Ceres. She looks like a shepherd's crook woman right here. Boop. And she's at 28 degrees of Mercury today. And Ceres is the asteroid in the zodiac that deals with self-care and nurturing. Okay. Ceres, if you're looking at a natal chart, like Ceres is the part of your chart where you'd want to look at to see how you best are going to feel taken care of and like you're taking care of yourself. I'll say for my own Ceres, this will surprise no one. I have Ceres in Pisces. So to experience my self-care, I need to be in my intuition and like working with spirituality and like astrology and intuitive healing, all Pisces things. And I have it in my 10th house right next to the midheaven. So my self-care is to do my business. The 10th house is your work. It's your work in front of other people. It's where you build your reputation. So that's the real secret. I love what I do, and working for me is how I take care of myself. Like if I feel a lot of sadness in my regular life, I'm like, oh, I guess I'd better go do some intuitive healing. And like, that is my jam and I love it. I think it shows. But wherever Ceres is on your chart, that is where you are going to feel like you are taking care of yourself and healing yourself. So as I'm talking about it, I'm like, man, I think it kind of is a little unfair because I think a lot of people want to have a business like my business, but like for them running a business like this is like hard work, and for me it's like my self-care, and I'm like, I better go relax by working hard at my business, but I love it. It helps me relax. So okay, what does this mean exactly today with the sun sandwiched real tight between Mars and Ceres? Okay, what that means is that we're all going to feel a draw to put ourselves first, hopefully in a healthy way this month, today, this exact day. And we're going to want to take excellent care of our bodies. And also, as I'm looking at this, I'm like, I could see some situations where the need to take care of yourself could lead to conflict in the home, especially between women and men. Ceres is kind of a more feminine energy. Mars is masculine energy. Where Mars is on a woman's chart, a lot of times that corresponds to your husband or your father, like big male energies in your life. And for men, Ceres can, really when you're looking at a man's chart, Venus is where you're going to see like a feminine energy, but and how the women in their lives show up for them. But in this exact instance, I'm like, ooh, I hope that, self-care does not cause a rift between spouses today, but it might. We'll just have to see. Here's my pro tip. If your spouse gives you a hard time about your healing work, don't defend yourself. That's my biggest advice. You don't have to change their mind. all you have to do is feel your feelings. Okay. My book, Magnetic Femininity, I'm recording this video a little bit in advance of releasing it. So like, hopefully my book is out by now. Go check it out on Amazon, guys. But if it's not, it will be out soon. I'm working so hard on it. But in that book, I talk a lot about defensiveness. And when a woman is defensive, it like murders the defending instinct in men. The more you stand up for yourself and fight back like emotionally against your husband, like the less he is going to feel motivated to defend you. When you step into your feminine vulnerability and just say, I feel sad, instead of saying like, you don't know what you're talking about, emotional healing is so important. If instead of getting angry and combative, you step back and you feel your feelings and you just say, I feel so sad. I feel so sad. And you just let yourself cry. And you let your husband say, oh, you're crying. Like, why are you crying? And you say, well, I feel really sad. Well, why do you feel sad? I feel sad because I know that I carry a lot of trauma in my heart. And I feel like the self-care work that I've been doing with my emotional healing has really been making a big difference. And I just feel so sad because I feel like nobody gets how important it is to me. I feel like I'm not being understood in my priorities, and you kind of feel your feelings and share your feelings instead of going on the attack. You are going to see a big difference. Oh man, I hope my book is out. I'm like recording this a week in advance. I'm like, my book better be out. Okay, go on Amazon and check out my book. It will help you if there is a conflict between you and your spouse about issues relating to healing. They could show up today, but I have some good news for you. Let's go back to the chart. The good news is that this is a trine from, oh no, sorry, that's the wrong one. Here is that tight conjunction right there. There's the trine to Neptune in Pisces, which is going to give you a lot of powers of intuition today. Listen to your intuition. Listen to the voice of our creator as you go through your day. If any conflicts show up, your job is to align your heart with our creator and just check in and just say, God, how do you want me to handle this? What do you want me to say? This is one of my favorite prayers. I pray it all the time. I say, Lord, help me to say everything I need to say. Help me to say nothing that I do not need to say. Help the people that listen to me hear only what they are meant to hear. Okay, that's my 3-pronged prayer. Now you know it. Okay. For me to say everything I need to say, nothing I don't need to say, and for other people to only comprehend what they need to comprehend. And I love that because I feel like I just trust that God makes that happen for me, and I just say what I feel like I need to say. And if I get that little ding that's like, shut up, Ellie, then I'm like, okay. And then I just have to trust that, we say things all the time. It doesn't matter. You guys aren't hearing what I'm saying. You're hearing what your brain needs you to understand. That's the real truth of everything, every conversation. You've never really had a real conversation with anybody because your brain filters what they are saying through what you are able and willing and need to understand in that moment. And that's fine. That's how it works. But I always just set that intention, like, Lord, please protect my communication so that the other people listening to me are only going to hear what they need to hear. But regardless of what I say, what you get out of what I say is going to be specific and unique to you. And that is what I pray. And that is what I prayed since I was a kid, probably since I was 14 or something. I feel like it's a really smart prayer. So I don't know. That's my opinion. But okay, today, yesterday we talked about grief, and today we're going to talk more about grief. Yesterday we did the releasing grief session for ourselves. The link is below. Today we get to do it on behalf of our ancestors, and I don't really have a ton to say about it, except that this can be a really powerful experience for you. It can be a really powerful experience for your ancestors. It may change some serious trajectories in your life. I seriously wonder how much of depression among the living is actually linked to unprocessed grief from the dead. How much of our ancestors' grief is trickling down and affecting us today. And today you get to shift that for your entire family line, not just for yourself, but also your children, also your cousins, everybody in your family tree. They are all going to be blessed from the work that you do today to help your ancestors with that. So instructions are in the releasing grief module down there. I don't know. I really hope it helps. And one thing I didn't mention yesterday is that I have a session on my site that is totally free. It's called Recovering from the Death of a Loved One. And if you have lost a loved one and you are in grief mode from that, I strongly recommend that session. If you go to alliedoes@classes.com, it's just in there, just search recovering and it'll be right there. And that is one that I made when my brother died. And I don't know, it was healing for me to make it. And it's been healing for me to work through those images myself, and I hope that it's healing for you as well. We can heal, guys. We have so many resources available to us. We can do it fast. We can do it in record time. We can experience the life of our dreams faster than we ever thought possible. And it starts with doing work like this, healing our own grief, healing the grief on behalf of our ancestors, and then moving on to the next thing. And again, we're just doing this for the month of November. This is the month that I prayed about it, and I just felt like this is the month we need to focus on our ancestors. One day for us, one day for them. And then I have another thing planned for December, but this is a powerful month, I think, to make some really big changes for all of our family trees. This is going to bless us for years and years to come. So thank you guys for being here, and I'm going to see you tomorrow.